So this summer, audiences got to watch season 4 of Teen Wolf, all 12, 13, 14 episodes. The season 4 finale debuted on September 8th, and now we're going to be talking about the entire season in full right here on tasha.c.polis, because you know I love Teen Wolf. Let's discuss Teen Wolf season 4 now. I have to be honest here, Teen Wolf season 4, not my favorite. I think this was my least favorite season of them all. My favorite season is still season number 2. I just love the cast in that one, and it was still so thrilling and still so very high school-y, and everyone was kind of learning what they were and what they were doing. This season, you know, I was kind of missing some characters. I was okay when Allison died in season 3, but watching and experiencing season 4, I really missed her character and her presence on screen. Lydia's my favorite character, but I don't really like Malia or Kira. They didn't have the girl bonding relationship that Allison and Lydia had, and I really missed that. If you watched my season 4 theories video back in June, you will know that I talked about how Jeff Davis is going forward and how we are going to get more high school-y and that it's going to be kind of reminiscent of season 1. I didn't feel that at all in this season. I just thought it was very mythologically based. The Deadpool plotline just felt so heavy that like you couldn't get past that fog. Everyone had the Deadpool on their minds this whole season. When the show finally revealed that Meredith was the benefactor, the way that they found out and how they got the key out of the bottle, which was ridiculous, and how fast that whole episode went, I didn't get it. I didn't guess it with Meredith at all, but the fact that it was said so early, like we still had 2 more episodes to go, that it wasn't like a season finale since the whole season was about this Deadpool. I didn't understand why they revealed that so early. Now I know Peter was a huge part of this, that they wanted to make Peter go evil again. The fight between Peter and Scott, that wasn't really a fight. Like, it was so low budget, they didn't have anything break, everything was just like fought with prosthetics and stuntman. Like, I wish they would have like blown up something or made it more epic than it really was. I didn't get chills at all. I didn't get chills. But the one part I did get chills from the season finale was when Derek turned into like the true wolf. I didn't think Derek was gonna die because, I mean, come on, they've killed off so many characters on Teen Wolf, they're gonna kill off Derek. When he turned into the wolf, I was like, yes! And like the way he like grabbed the, what's it called? The berserkers! I like the way how Derek kind of like took the helmet off or whatever that stupid skull thing was off the berserkers. My mother said this when we were watching Teen Wolf because she loves Teen Wolf as much as I do. But I feel like what they did was like go into like the Universal backlot and get all the weird crazy stuff that they could and stick them on these like huge Samoan actors and think like, okay, this is scary. This is what the audience will think scary. What makes Teen Wolf good is the conversation and interaction between all the actors when they're in normal situations and talking about these supernatural things that are going on in their life. It's usually so funny and witty and smart, their banter, especially Styles. I feel like Styles was kind of in the background this season because a lot of the light was on Liam and Malia because they're the new characters. I wanted to see more Styles and Scott interaction. We didn't get that much. And we got a little bit when Liam came on the scene, and we got that like funny little scene where Scott had like tied him up in the bathtub. So you thought it would be a good idea to put him in a bathtub against his will because you bit him. I love that. But as we started to get more into the season, just things were getting just so squished together and you couldn't enjoy the characters' interaction. It was just plot. In the past, I love that we've only had like 12 episodes per season. But this season, I feel like we got too many new characters, we have too many new enemies or bad guys to focus on to continue on the relationships between the characters that we already have. I think I only really enjoyed 2 episodes this season. The first episode that I really enjoyed was when they were starting and going out for a cross again. The new kid Liam was on the scene and they were trying out and Styles was dying during the episode. That was the best episode I think this season because it was so funny funny. I also really enjoyed Lydia's storyline this season. I just thought she grew so much, especially in the season finale when she was holding that bat. I didn't really care for Malia this season. I liked her last season. I know she's been like out in the wild and a coyote and everything, that she's trying to learn all these new things about being a teenager. I got that. Oh, I got that. I did enjoy some of her funny little bits and like her faces and stuff. Didn't really get to see her shine at all. And I think they could have played on that more and how she could have been a bigger factor in like some of the fights that they had and been more helpful. And then we have Liam, the new werewolf. I thought the way that they wove his storyline into the show was so misplaced. They spent so much time on Liam in the second to last episode, which was just poorly edited, by the way. That second to last episode, I hated. I think they could have explained Liam's storyline in a much organic way than they did, because they just like plopped him. They're just like plopped his little storyline and him being a werewolf into little sections. It didn't work. And another thing I didn't like a lot of things, I guess. Derek and Brayden's love romance thing. There was no chemistry. If you compare Brayden and Derek's romance or like relationship to Jennifer Blake, you know, even though she was like an evil character, they had so much more chemistry and so many good like steamy scenes compared to Brayden and Derek. I just feel like those two actors didn't really mesh well. I like her and her character, I just didn't really like them together because I didn't feel anything from it. Maybe it was the fact that they didn't really think that Brayden would be a love interest, like when they cast her, what was that, last season or the season before? And that they're like, okay, let's put Derek and Brayden together. They didn't really test the actors' chemistry. When Brayden was in the hospital and Derek was like all looking at her, I didn't feel anything. It was just a stare. He was just staring at Brayden, and I'm like, this is kind of creepy. This isn't you're sweet and she's hurt. This is creepy stare. However, the chemistry that I am loving, I am a Stydia shipper, but we didn't get any Stydia. I mean, okay, we got like one Stydia thing, which was like when Holland's or Lydia's ear was bleeding. Styles took her like chin up when they were talking to Meredith in Eichen House. I like that little thing. That was very cute and sweet. Very sweet. Love that. But Parrish and Lydia. I like Parrish. I feel like he's someone from like the 1950s with his like cute little face and his haircut. And he looked really good in the season finale. I don't know what happened. I know that they dyed his hair like a really dark brown because last or 2 seasons ago it was like kind of like a mousy brown. Now it's darker and he's much more of like a suave 1950s guy, and I think that Lydia and Parrish work so well together, and I'm so happy that she's 18 because we're gonna get Lydia or Parrish Lydish together next season because I really enjoyed that ship and I want to see it sail. Now, what the heck is Parrish? Everyone is saying Phoenix. Right now I think he's a Phoenix because he was set on fire, nothing happened to him, he came up in the ashes, and he's still alive. So it makes sense that he would be a Phoenix. But there could be something else, you know, that's in the bestiary. Even though we did not find out what Parrish is yet, we're definitely going to be finding out next season, or hopefully we'll be finding out next season. And he'll be part of the pack, which I think is going to be really, really cool. My other favorite part of season 4 was J.R. Bourne. I always call him Papa Argent, but he's Chris Argent. I really, really, really like J.R. Bourne and his character. I don't know if he's going to be back next season, but I really hope that he will be because he just feels so grounding. Also with Sheriff Selinsky, I always loved the older characters, and Melissa Ponzio. I love all the older characters. I think that they're so grounding to the storyline because they aren't necessarily supernatural. They have real jobs and real problems. Now, the last thing I'm going to be bashing on is Kira and Scott's relationship in this show. I do think they're cute together. The one thing I really hated was their stupid, idiotic date that they had. That was truly awkward and weird, just like a lot of other things that happened with Kira that was awkward and weird. Actually, the one thing I really enjoyed was when she fell off the stairs, like trying to get Liam's attention. That was hilarious because I could see myself and some of my friends that are awkward doing that. Kira wasn't really in the season. Like, there were so many episodes where she wasn't in it at all. Now Lydia and Styles and Derek, they were always in the episodes, but like when Kira wasn't there, you could really tell that she wasn't there. My biggest frustration with this season was that it was rushed. Like there was too many things going on. There was too many enemies. There's so many things that are left unanswered from past seasons that they really just need a full season to catch up on all the things that they have just wiped right by. Like, I mean, what? Their minds are still open. Like Scott and Styles, they still have those like weird open doors where they can see things and get confused and stuff. You know what I'm talking about, right? They still, like, what's happening with that? With the veterinarian doctor, Dr. Deaton, you know? He went into that weird third eye thing, which that wasn't explained. And what the heck? Maybe I need to rewatch the episode again, but I don't understand why that was necessary for him to do that. And then Lydia was, I'm still confused now. What I'm looking forward to in the 5th season is to see Scott McCall's dad, because he left and he was like, I want you to tell me everything when I come back. I thought he was going to come back at the end of the season. Obviously they didn't have time for that. So he's going to be coming back in the 5th season, and Scott is going to have to be telling him everything that's been going on in his life. You know what else is going to be interesting is that they're going to try to make Melissa and Deputy Stilinski become a relationship person together. And then Scott's dad's going to be in it. And that's going to be an interesting little thing going on there. Something that I was truly upset with was that I was so wrong about Colton Haynes coming back onto the show. I just think he's such a little shit. And I really want him back on the show because it was so funny and so good when they had Colton there and he was just being really mean to everybody. I hope some of you guys agree with me here. I mean, I did enjoy a lot of it. I really did. There's just so many things that were left unanswered that I was just so frustrated with, and I think a lot of the episodes weren't really edited that well, so it was kind of hard to keep track because it was just all like flipping around. I do wish that we would get some like Styles and Lydia scenes, but he's obviously with Malia and they're back together again. But I liked how Styles and Lydia were working together. I remember I watched an interview from Comic-Con and Jeff Davis said that Scott and Lydia are kind of like his Mulder and Scully, like from the X-Files. I think what's going to happen with Styles and Lydia is that we aren't really going to get a full-on relationship until the very end of the show. Yeah, I just think they want to draw that out as much as they can. Alright guys, I think that's it for my review or my discussion about Season 4 of Teen Wolf. Let me know what you guys liked. If you agreed with anything that I said at all, if this was your least favorite season, or if you really enjoyed the season, I would like to hear some of your thoughts. I didn't even talk about Kate. Whatever. Thanks for watching. I hope the 5th season of Teen Wolf is going to be much better, which it comes back in January, which we have to wait many more months for. In the meantime, keep calm and fangirl on. I'll see you guys all in the future. Bye! Number 10 is most badass boyfriend. He's fictional, so I'm gonna go with Derek Hale from Teen Wolf. I think he's really badass. Tyler Hoechlin could easily selfie. Come on, focus. I look like a white blob. I want to take a cool Instagram. Nope, I'm still a white blob. White blob in the viewfinder. Take. Oh, that was horrible. That's lovely, right? Lovely.